morning. It's another Wesley Wednesday with Pastor Dave. As we prepare to leave Wesley's chapel, we will stop for a group picture by the statue of John Wesley in the courtyard. We will then walk across City Road to visit the cemetery where Susanna Wesley is buried. In the tradition of tour groups, we will lay flowers upon her grave and say prayers of thanksgiving for her life. Hymn writer Isaac Watts is also buried in this cemetery. Our first stop today is the community of Marylebone, where Charles Wesley lived in London. Quoting from a Methodist guide to London, Marylebone was a pleasant suburban village just 3 miles from the City Road Chapel where John Wesley lived. Charles would ride his little gray mare across the fields to City Road, where he would preside over the services and the work of the society. The London years were happy ones for the Wesley family as they watched their children grow up and develop their musical talents. It was here in their London home that Charles and Sarah hosted concerts where the talents of each family member would be on display. Brother John once noted that he felt out of his element among the lords and ladies in attendance. It is in London that we see the stark differences between John and Charles. The site is now marked by a plaque. It was here that Charles died on March 29, 1788, surrounded by his family. Ever the poet, a few days before his death, he asked Sarah to write down what would be his final lines. In age and feebleness extreme, who shall a sinful worm redeem? Jesus, my only hope thou art, strength of my failing heart. Oh, could I catch a smile from thee and drop into eternity. The Anglican priest of the parish church had visited him at Charles's request while he was on his deathbed. Charles told him, "Sir, whatever the world may have thought of me, I have lived and I die in the communion of the Church of England, and I will be buried in the yard of my parish church." When we visit the old Marylebone church, we find a prominent stone, a large memorial, placed in memory of Charles and Sarah and their 2 sons, who are all buried here. The following words are carved on Charles's tombstone: "With poverty of spirit bless, rest, happy saint, in Jesus rest. A sinner saved through grace forgiven, redeemed from earth to reign in heaven." Now, John Wesley was not able to attend his brother's funeral. However, at the Methodist Conference of 1788, when the minute question was read, "What preachers have died this year?" Charles Wesley was one of the 7 names read. Perhaps fittingly, it was here among the family of Methodist preachers that John provided his tribute to Charles. One more side note. Old Marylebone Parish is where Samuel and Susanna Wesley were married in 1688. There remains a church of this name a few blocks away from the original building. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next Wednesday. Oh, by the way, did you know that Westminster Abbey has a Wesley connection? Have a blessed day.